dress code for lawyers. Lawyers have a dress code. The dress code in this movie is absolutely mortifying. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited that you're joining me for another video. Alter Ego is the movie I'm going to be reviewing today.
The prosecuting attorney is none other than prolific human and child rights activist, Barrister Ada Igwe.
My lord, this is a complex case, one which the defendant ought not be granted bail because of the complexities of the charges leveled against him. Rape, assault, kidnapping. My lord, at the battery of a minor.
Barrister Ikeduba, the offences in his charges are capital offences, and therefore the accused cannot be granted bail. Bearing this in mind, the accused shall be remanded in prison custody. Dismissed.
So this initial person that we're seeing is an arraignment where the person is told what they're being accused of, and then the court admits all these charges, and then the person is then either released on bail or remanded to detention. And so this is where we are in the case. Something to know that is very important about bail is that bail is your right, actually, if you're in police custody. So the 2 times you can apply for bail, or the 3 times you can apply for bail, is in police custody, that's before you are brought to court, or in court, or during an appeal process, which is called bail pending appeal. And this is, of course, the second case, which is bringing it to court. The accused usually is going to be released or not released based on certain criteria. Is the person a first-time offender? Is the person a repeat offender? Most importantly, is the person a flight risk? Because what bail is an arrangement that allows an accused person to be released such that the person is going to be presented back at any time the court or the police need that person to appear. So it's a very important aspect of bail that you show up. And so the court is going to either require you to bring sureties, that is people that will stand for you, or release you on your own recognition. That's self-recognition. It's also called recognizance. That is, the judge sees that you are someone who is probably a first-time offender, is very reputable in the community, and is not going to escape. So usually they probably take your international passport so that you can't travel out of the country. There's an application on paper if it's in a court, and then it's the application is being heard. So I'm guessing that that's what has happened here. The defense lawyer has filed, and of course the prosecution is like, we don't want you to go because you are a bad person and you need to be kept in court. But remember, you are innocent until proven guilty. By law, the Attorney General under the Constitution has the power to institute proceedings and to discontinue them. So we have the Attorney General for the Federation and the Attorney General for the states. However, he can also delegate this power. So there's a Ministry of Justice, they have lawyers that work there, and these people have delegated powers to institute proceedings on behalf of the states, either the federal government or the state government. Now, the AG is also allowed by the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015 to appoint a private lawyer through a fiat to institute that proceedings. The Police Act in Section 23 also empowers police officers to be able to institute proceedings in magistrate courts. And the third category of people who can institute criminal proceedings are private individuals who are qualified as lawyers, and the act empowers them, or it says that if an act of National Assembly empowers them to so prosecute or to so institute a criminal proceedings, then they can. And so what we see in this movie is that this lawyer is a private lawyer, and they read out her credentials, and she's a very good prosecuting lawyer, but she's not a state attorney. So it's important to note that the law says that there are cases that a private lawyer can be the one who institutes the criminal proceedings. So we have to, talk about how a criminal proceeding is commenced. And so it's either by way of a complaint or by way of an information, and a charge sheet is brought before the court and the charges, that is the offenses that the person is being accused of, are laid out one after the other. So that's what the lawyer is presenting. And here we see that we have a case of kidnap, a case of rape, a case of assault, a case of battery. Now, something to correct is that the judge said these are capital offenses. These offenses are not capital offenses. Capital offenses are offenses that carry the death penalty. In Nigeria, neither rape, nor assault, nor kidnap, or battery carry a death sentence. I also want to touch on the subject of dress code for lawyers. Dress code for lawyers. Lawyers have a dress code. The dress code in this movie is absolutely mortifying. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but lawyers wear suits, okay? We wear a robe, we wear our wigs. For females, you would wear a collarette. I was going to show you my collarette, but then I just thought I'd insert pictures instead, or just, explain it to you. So there's a collarette that you wear, and then you tuck it into either your blouse or your dress. So we don't wear shirts. Lawyers don't wear collared shirts. I see this quite a bit in Nigerian movies. We don't wear shirts that have collars. Not even the male lawyers wear shirts that have collars. Because for the women, we have to wear a collarette that we tuck into a blouse and a suit or a dress. And then you wear your wig and you're good. The 3 colors that you're allowed to wear as a lawyer to court: gray, black, and navy blue. For the men, they wear a shirt, usually that has a bishop collar and then a small fold at the front, and then they wear a bib. The bib, I'm going to insert pictures. And then they wear a suit jacket if they choose to, but there's also a barrister's coat that is also without a collar, and it's black. And then they have pinstriped pants. But male lawyers are allowed to wear suits as well if they don't want to wear the barrister's outfit. So please, Nigerian movies, do better with the outfits. I don't want to see color. We don't wear collared shirts. Lawyers in Nigeria don't wear collared shirts. It is not the outfit. If you wear this to court, they will chase you out. Your case will not be heard, because dressing is one of the things that judges hold so highly. So,
can you recognize those documents?
This is the copy of ticket, boarding pass, and hotel bills of my trip to Paris. I was on a 4-day conference in Paris, France.
Yes, my lord. Chief Adebisi, you said you were not in the country at the time of this offense?
Yes, I was not in this country.
Can you please pass this to him? There, my lord, is the document from the Nigerian Immigration Services, which states in black and white the time and the date that Chief Adebisi was stamped back into this country through the Muritala Mohammed International Airport. In that same document, my lord, is the flight manifest, which shows that Chief Adebisi was indeed on his friend's private jet, which came in 3 days earlier. 3 whole days earlier than he claims.
In the matter of the state versus Chief Musibao Adibanjo, I hereby find the accused guilty of multiple criminal charges, which includes the kidnap, assault, battery, and multiple counts of rape of Miss Mena Nwabunwa. For the offense of multiple counts of rape, this honorable court hereby sentenced the accused to 14 years imprisonment. For the offense of kidnap, the court sentenced the accused to 14 years imprisonment. And finally, for the offense of assault and battery, the court sentenced the accused to 4 years imprisonment. These sentences shall run consecutively with hard labor.
So we see that the accused has been convicted of the crimes and sentenced. However, in reality, what would happen is after trial, there will be a judgment date. On that day, the judgment will be read. And if the person is found guilty, then another date will be fixed for the sentencing. And that usually is to allow for the accused to seek more lenient sentence. So if you're going to have a life imprisonment, but you're a first-time offender, and there are just some things that work in your favor, you were not aware, you're never going to do it again, there's some goodwill that is extended to the accused, and so that would happen before the sentencing is read out. So we have two types of sentences when you get to that point. You can run a sentence concurrently, that is at the same time, or consecutively, that is at one after the other. So in this case, he's going to run the 4-year sentence after the 14-year sentence, and so on. So it's going to be a really long time in jail for this guy.
Oh, be assured that every single time a child molester faces me in court, he or she will go to jail, regardless of who their lawyer is. So it's up to you to do the smart thing. Don't take up their cases. Maybe then you can have a shot at winning me in court.
Barrister Igwe, for such a high-profile lawyer, how could these people afford your services?
Did they really pay for your services?
Oh, they couldn't. But we work enough for other high-profile clients to afford us the luxury to do what we do.
Comments by the lawyer: good job winning your case. That's very exciting, especially if the person is actually guilty. But the comment about don't take up their case, everybody is entitled to a defense lawyer. You cannot say that a person is outrightly guilty. That's why we have a legal system. So everybody is entitled to a lawyer, a defense lawyer, a prosecuting lawyer. And so I don't think that it's appropriate for her to make that statement about don't take up their cases until you have a shot at winning against me. Also, I said this in my previous video, lawyers don't decide cases. No matter how solid you think your case is, the judge at the end of the day is the person that is going to get the sentence in. And so don't be so cocky as to say, I'm going to win every case and I can't lose. This does happen because if you've had a winning streak, you'll just be cocky and you're just like, no bad, you can't do anything, untouchable, I'm golden child. This can happen in your head, but you can lose a case, okay? Even good cases. And I just want people to know this. Good cases can also be lost because the law is dynamic and arguments are what the judgments are going to be about at the end of the day. Pro bono is so good. I love it. I enjoy it. I'm very happy to see a lot of NGOs out there that offer free legal services, and this is very helpful for a lot of people because there are a lot of low income earners. We live in Nigeria where most people live below the poverty line, and they also have the right to legal counsel. They have a right to fair hearing. And so thanks to every lawyer out there that does pro bono cases. Like she said, if you're a big firm, you make enough money to be able to cover other expenses, you should look into taking up free cases for clients and people who can't afford it. When the law encourages you to do so. So go ahead, pro bono cases. If you're already into it, salute, you're doing marvelous, good job. And if you need legal help but cannot afford it, there's legal aid counsel. There are lawyers that would offer this service. So walk into a law office, look for legal aid around you, and ask for help.
We have an application for bail before you on the grounds that the accused is not in good health. Therefore, I pray that Mr. Taufik Ajiwale be granted bail for him to seek urgent medical attention immediately.
My Lord, I ask that the request of the defense counsel not be granted on these grounds. 1, the severity of the case at hand. My Lord, this is a rape case. 2, the safety of the victim. My Lord, the accused is the landlord of the victim, and they both will be returning to the same premises. This could cause intimidation on the part of the victim. And 3, my Lord, the accused has not tendered to this honorable court any proof of ill health. Therefore, my Lord, I ask that you remand the accused in custody.
My Lord, Mr. Taufik Ajiwale has no history of violence whatsoever, and he is in a critical condition that requires urgent medical attention.
Come on, my Lord, there is no evidence stating.
Counsel, hold yourself together. I hereby grant the accused bail on the following conditions: that he submits his international passport, provides one surety and a medical report. And of course, 50,000 naira bail.
50,000 naira, my lord, that is preposterous.
Counsel, one more word, I hold you in contempt. This case is adjourned till the 27th of December. The court is adjourned. I rise.
So we have another case. This woman is on a streak. She's like, we're going to get all of them. So I have another criminal case, and this is a rape case. I have talked about rape in one of my videos. I'm going to leave the link. Do check it out. It is detailed and it has a lot of engagement. So I know that people are very excited to learn about, what the law on rape is in Nigeria. So we're faced again with another application for bail. I've noted that this is a high court, so usually you bring a motion to apply for bail. It won't just be an oral application. And yes, you're supposed to tender evidence. In this case, they're asking that based on his ill health, that he should be released on bail to seek medical treatment. There would be need for a medical report usually for that. But if the person has been in prison, then of course you need to take them out of prison to get them tested and all of that. So valid points for seeking bail and valid arguments on both sides. Imagine that your landlord who you are accusing is in the same building with you. It does cause some risk to the person that is the victim in this case, or the alleged victim. So the judge would have looked into that a little more in detail in terms of relocating the witness, relocating the victim, or one of those things. Yes, the bail will be granted to you on the conditions he has laid out. The judge does have the discretion to do that. And here he has said 50,000 naira. That is so annoying. I can understand the pain of the lawyer. Like, this is a serious case. Even if you're going to release him on more stringent conditions. I would also say that maybe sureties should have been required since it's a rape case. But the judges have discretion to decide what the conditions are that he wants to impose on each accused person. So the other issues that were raised are contempt of court, and the judge did mention that he was going to hold the lawyer in contempt. And what contempt simply is a disobedience or disrespect to the court or the court officers, or trying to interfere with the orderly process of proceeding. And so because she was commenting, that's something that judges find a little rude, and so she could be held in contempt for being rude to a judge or for interrupting a judge. That is a possibility, and it comes with a fine or with some time in a detention cell. So you want to be careful not to be guilty of that. Also, when it comes to adjourning a case, in practice, lawyers have what we call diaries, where they write the cases that they have in different courts, because usually you have multiple clients and multiple cases in different courts. And so when you want to adjourn a case or choose a date for hearing, the two lawyers involved will come together and check that they don't have conflicting cases on those dates. And the judge is usually open to that. The court is open to you picking convenient dates that you're going to be available, because it's important for you to be available. They are aware that you have multiple cases.
Counsel, you may proceed.
Your Honor, there is no case here. It is unfortunate that the counsel has decided to disrespect this honorable court and all present here with this ridiculous lawsuit. These proceedings will be a total waste of time, as we are here simply as a result of a woman's quest for vengeance. Yes, the prosecuting lawyer, Miss Ada Igwe, has decided to use the law as a tool of vengeance to get back at my client because he broke off their engagement.
Objection, my lord. Relevance?
Objection overruled. Counsel, proceed.
This case is only in court as Ada Igwe has a grudge because she is broken-hearted.
I'll just stop here and comment that this wouldn't happen in practice, but I think I should see how this all ends. Then about the outfits, we don't wear collars. The pool where the lawyers sit, clients won't be allowed in there. So the way the court is arranged in a criminal proceeding, there's a dock where the accused stands, there's a witness box where whoever is testifying stays, there's a pool where the lawyers sit, and then every other person, the clients, the witnesses, they all sit at the back of the lawyers or by the side, depending on how the court is organized. But lawyers and either the clients or the general public would not sit together. So this is not an accurate depiction. Even though you are the client or you're the victim, you would not be sitting with your lawyer. And the lawyer at the back has no collar, not properly buttoned up. You will not be allowed, not even robed. The only court where you don't have to robe is the magistrate court and lower court. So you can just wear a formal suit. But in the high court, you have to be robed to sit where the lawyers sit. Even if you're a lawyer, if you're not well dressed, you cannot sit in the pool. So dressing is very important to legal practitioners and to judges and in courts, and you should not be deceived by the portrayal in Nigerian movies, or at least in this movie.
But she has crossed the legal line by deciding to use one of the beneficiaries of the accused in order to keep him in court.
Objection, my lord.
Overruled. Let her make her point. You'll have your chance soon. Counsel, you may proceed.
During the course of this sham, Your Honor, I will produce witnesses that will testify to the fact that Miss Ada Igwe is nothing but a nymphomaniac with an insatiable sexual appetite who uses men and then dumps them. This is exactly what my client discovered when he decided to call off the relationship. Now I ask you this question. Are we going to allow Miss Ada Igwe, the prosecuting counsel, to use this good court as a tool of vengeance?
This is just reaching us. The trial has turned on its head.
Defamation of character. Oh my god, a lawsuit. I see a lawsuit brewing. It does not, see, in practice this can never happen. You are talking to a lawyer just like that in a courtroom, throwing allegations around. Number one, it doesn't matter what the lawyer's personal life issues are. Cases are based on facts. Criminal cases are based on facts of the case. The facts that have nothing to do with the lawyer involved. You cannot bring in the lawyer and change. You bring a person to court and then you now want to change the core of what we are in court for and switch it to another person. Parties have to be, see, there's something called parties to a suit. You cannot bring in a party who has no interest in the case. Do you understand? And so in this case, it is a criminal case about rape. If you're talking about a criminal case about rape, how does it have anything to do with their old relationship? He knew her, he dumped her. No correlation. She cannot be joined in the suit, number one. Number two, she's a lawyer. Her personal life has nothing to do with the case.
I fight this case to the end and I will win it. But any counter argument from me right now will see you and Daniel going to jail for contempt of court. So, I have decided to sacrifice this case for your freedom.
And so we see the prosecuting lawyer talking to her sister in the bathroom about lying under oath, and I've already said that, you know, the law under section 118 of the criminal code provides for perjury and it is punishable by 40 years imprisonment. So don't play around with that, you know. So if she lied under oath, which in this case she actually did, it is not called contempt of court. Contempt, as I said earlier, is when you're disrespectful or you have disregard for the judge or for the court or its officers, where you lie expressly under oath, especially it's a criminal offense and you are going to be imprisoned for 14 years. Do not lie in affidavits, do not lie in court papers, do not lie under oath. Also, I've already talked about the other part, so it's not contempt, it's perjury, and it is a serious offense. And the lawyer also is liable. I mean, she's doing things that would disbar her. When you're acting against the interest of your client. Number two, you're covering up a perjury that you're aware of. That's not allowed. Those two things are things that are against rules of professional conduct, and you can be held liable and your license to practice law taken away. So be careful, act appropriately as lawyers, and also demand high standards from your lawyers. You are entitled to it.
You promised to protect me. You promised to help me. You should have just let me.
Aisha, I'm sorry. I really am. But sometimes we lose
I said
cases.
this in my last video also, that lawyers should be careful how they communicate with their clients in terms of promising what you cannot deliver on. So don't be making, especially in criminal cases, don't be making promises. Just give the facts to your clients and let them decide what they want to do with the fact that they have. Give them the law, give them the facts, give them the scenarios that you know about, but don't promise a win you don't know for sure. And also, like she said, lawyers do lose cases. You know, our golden girl finally admitted that lawyers lose cases.
The defense counsel has tried to distract this honorable court today by making this all about me, about my person, and having witnesses speak lies under oath. But the truth is, my lord, that we're here today to seek justice for one victim, Miss Aisha Muhammad, who was sexually abused and battered physically for years by the accused. My lord, the accused, Mr. Timothy Igodaro, has used his foundation for years as a cover for his devilish deeds, brutalizing and torturing women and oftentimes children who have come to him for vital help. The prosecuting counsel has a warrant for the accused sperm to cross-reference with a sample obtained from the victim to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that Mr. Timothy Godaro, the accused, raped Miss Aisha Muhammad. The defense counsel and the accused have acted in complete disregard of the law here today, my lord. But I pray this court ensures that justice is served.
Like the end, that justice is served. That's what we want as lawyers, that justice is served. It's not about anybody's ego, anybody's personal interest. It's about justice being served and being seen as being served. So the things that, you know, we have to see here, another rape case, and like I said in my rape video, do check it out. Cross-referencing his sperm with that was found on her body upon examination. Ding ding. So, you know, I mentioned in that case that when there's a rape situation, you should definitely get tested so that all the evidence is collected. And so, of course, getting a warrant for the accused sperm is perfect. I mean, what better way to just seal the case? There was evidence of other girls that were assaulted by him, quite a number of them, and a lot of them came and gave testimonies, and so they had evidence to corroborate. They had the medical evidence. It was just excellent. I'm so excited how this case ended. And so, good ending to the movie. This is not the end of the movie, but good ending to the legal aspect of the movie. Legal realism, wow, I'd say 40%, because of the dressing that wasn't very good, and the way that the lawyer was portrayed as sort of a vigilante. Lawyers are not vigilantes. Lawyers are men and women that follow rules to ensure that justice is done. We don't create the rules for ourselves, and we definitely don't bend rules. At least we're not supposed to. So thank you for staying tuned to the end. As always, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Why haven't you? Until next time, I'm going to see you. Check out the videos that I leave at the end of the video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.